come to dawn on me that those who reap are the ones who connect, understand the process, work out the process, and actually reap, right? So you get, people say, but we were taught maths at school, how does that benefit us, financial education, blah blah blah. And actually, in actual fact, it's just that people have not connected the dots, have not connected everything. So they have not really sat down and just went through what they were taught. Sometimes you're taught the most simplest of things, but it's a principle that even applies to life altogether, like in different seasons at different times. It's just about how you understood it within that time frame, within that time space. Yeah, how you understand it and how you apply it within that season that could be beneficial to self. So then I thought, and this piece of information goes out to anyone really, whether you've been wondering how to go about it, instilling such values, financial values to your kid, whether you've already implemented it, started with it, maybe sometimes you lose that momentum of having to do it on a constant basis, or you from a wealthy family, and if these kind of skills are not instilled in children, people can lose the wealth. So it could work still for anyone really. So start them young, but I'm referring mostly to like bondaki, because really. Hi. Okay, jeez man, like seriously. Okay, I'll continue in a minute. Bondaki, because usually most of us have come to realize we aspire for like money, wealth, whatnot. It's still that factor we like pursuing, many of us, and that's because we've not connected. We've not connected to the fact that we go to a store, we purchase an item, that's it. We go to a store, we purchase an item. Someone's thought went through a process, it has an output, and they've placed value on it because it's work and energy that goes on like into the whole process, and then the outcome, the output, and then you pay for it. So why not start them young? How about you ask them to you send them, or you ask them to either do something small, a chore, or this. There should be some sort of benefit. Like that's how I was raised. So that's how I was raised. So my connection was having to connect the principles, those little principles of having, because I had a business growing up and whatnot, small tuck shops, cars are going on at home. So like I had to connect what I learned, the work ethic, the financial skills that I got from my stepdad, bless that man, and how the dynamics of the real world and how things work. That I think during the period that I went through the most, I think you come to sit down and you make sense of these things, and once you make that connection, it's effortless. That's why when someone is doing well at something, don't envy, just go through the process, understand what you want, and understand what you have to actually sit down and think up to get there. And then with that mentioned, if kids are taught these kind of skills, also you will value time. It takes time. Time will be used for the right things, because oftentimes you find that you're told to wait and wait and wait, and sometimes in the waiting period there's not even any structure of what to do, how to go about it, what to apply, how to do. There must be that extra mural, you know what I mean, that keeps you going. There's no reason to emma, but what are you doing? What is it all? At least if not that you have to pay for whatever, refining a certain skill, at least you must be led to practice this kind of thing. But then you practice or you refine the skill at home without having to pay for anything, any kind of help. What's up, making sense? You understand? There's no it's a waste of time, but you expect it to have the results. How did sense? So yeah, start them young. Whether it's a chore, whether it's let there be a benefit, let there be a let there be a privilege, let there be a benefit, so that, you know what I mean, they know that once I give out some of my skills or I use my energy to do something like this, it should be rewarded. You know, you attach the money thing to it, and they become familiar with money, you know, and it's not such a, you know, chale there, you know, it's such a biggie, or you know what I mean, you know, different homes, different values. So you can even teach such things to reduce thief-like behavior and tendencies. But if the home is already structured like that, either way, the child will not prefer to learn such things. So these kind of things cannot be avoided. I'm not saying I'm reducing, you know, that maybe a certain race becomes or is not perceived as very thiefy, but like, you know what I mean. Either way, these kind of things will still happen. So I'm not really blocking out anything. So yeah, that's the key. Start them young. Maybe that will make all the difference.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Watch me. Level up, 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 level up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Watch me. Level up, 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 level up.
Not who you want to become, but what works. Oftentimes in life, only a few percentage of pupils have actually succeeded in becoming who they wanted to be, like their first preference of a professional career. They've attained it, right? And then you get a whole lot number of people who just happen to land up in something because maybe that wasn't work, or maybe the results didn't qualify them for a certain field of study, right? And then usually, like, I'd like to believe most of us have experienced this. If you haven't, then okay, fine. But like, I'd like to believe a whole lot of people like have experienced this. Like, you'd get that someone would be like, "You're so good at such. Why don't you like do that, make it out of business, or do that and, you know, get work along the lines of such a thing?" And you're like, "No, but I want to become, you know." And I'd maybe like to believe that that might be the reason why a lot of people are stuck and not moving. Sometimes you gotta work what works, you know, like looking back at the perfect rubric that would give you an idea of what you're good at is the different subjects at school. Like, look at the different subjects you did. Where did you score the most marks? That isn't like that's one of the clear indications that you might like a certain thing, but if in the now you're doing good at such, that's what you're good at, that's what you master, that's what works for you in the now. And what I've come to realize is that in this world you will be classified for what you can do and what you do on a regular basis. Yes, what you do on a regular basis says what you are than what you actually think of doing. You know, people don't understand there could be many reasons why you can't maybe in the moment hold a book and read. You know, there could be many reasons. But whatever you do, other than what you intend to do, and whatever you do on a daily, you are becoming, whether you're aware of it or not. That's who you are becoming. And oftentimes we go against the currency of what works in the now, what flows. If it's flowing, there's a certain movement to it, it's a certain currency. That could be a currency and you could be ignoring it. I, for once, like, I believe I'm an academic at heart, but I'm a natural born entertainer. I'm outspoken but I don't want to be in the industry for the obvious reasons. I have seen, or I have experienced a bit of attention, and I could tell it was very draining. And with everything that I've been through, that's the last thing I need. So under such circumstances, what would be, one would have to opt for the second one that has like the highest marks, or another tap into another skill set, one of your skills set that you have, and become that, or go along the lines of that and make it work. So you're not only becoming what you do on a daily basis, you're actually refining what you do on like a daily basis. And that's actually the reality many don't notice. You become what you do on a daily. You're refining, you're actually building that. That's why it makes so much sense. Makes so much sense that in the word you're usually told, no matter the circumstance, the challenges, or whatever, winds and trials and tribulations you might be experiencing, stick to the word. It's the principle of the constant. You must have that constant that you focus on against all odds. And that's why sometimes you find some people in the world that others grow through, they thrive through trials, whereas others, they get really crushed and destroyed by it. That's because that's the only thing that separated them. Others had that constant of the aim, the goal is such, the objective is this, whereas the others were just getting like pushed by, around, tossed about by the different winds and trials. There was no focus, there was nothing that they were building, there was nothing to look forward to. There it goes again. I like how everything I say just connects. That's why the word says, where there is no vision, the people do what? Exactly. So yeah, this is just mainly for those who are just seeking that word of inspiration where direction is concerned, maybe where they're seeking what to do, what am I here for, that kind of question. This will really come in handy for that kind of person right now. So yeah, this is basically me. I just share randomly what comes to mind, and I just share, and I believe my words are timely. So for whoever this is necessary for, just work it, make it work what works. Yeah. Hello and good morning. Okay, so I think the tag or the phrase said on that image should be enough to give a highlight of where I'm going with this. Like, the frequencies are still on, but everyone is looking for a door of escape, or for it to settle, for it to land already, and to move on with life. It's either or whatever, the worst could happen, or really we're gonna move forward with life. So gosh, where do I even start? I think more or less the way it was created is the way out. It's the way we should recreate it. Basically what I'm getting down to is that the demand grew, right? The demand grew for the vibes that are right now, and the demand can be created once more, or built, to recreate the moving forward of a different season, a new start, whatever the case may be, if life is to go on. If that's not the case, then it's pretty much obvious. If people are not going to stop what they're doing, someone is going to just, things are just building and they keep relaxing. It's contracting, is relaxing, that kind of thing. So if it's not going to stop, something will happen that will shock us all. Either a natural disaster of some sort, or a man-made. because now it has gotten to that pinnacle. Oh, enough. Do you understand? One of the two. So it's better we control ourselves and just focus the demand on something else, something new. It's not going to be easy, obviously. The vibes will still be on, but if they are lessened, that's the focus. If they are lessened, and certain things that evoke it could be lessened, and life move on in accordance, then everything will just soundly make its way back to its norm, and life will proceed as we would know it, right? We are the demand. Everyone is the demand here. So whatever is demand will lead or will take precedence, or whatever the case may be. So should life go on accordingly, I wonder what focus will people redirect everything to. If but what's hardly book and you having book sessions and whatnot, people clearly have a need to study, so maybe even more schools will be built. But Hobaya, I mean, the focus should be in different things. Things can still happen anyway. Actually, I'm not even trying to solve anything. I don't have the means to solve any or everything. Entertainment is there. More people going out and whatnot, being out and about. The demand for entertainment. So you are the demand. Decide what do you want. If more people are refining their skill sets and working on themselves, more jobs will be created. So whatever you want, let's create it. Or else, really, it's not gonna end well, as we can see the vibes and good. So yeah, people, it's up to us. Because I don't know if y'all have seen it that way. Like I said, I don't have the means to solve. I'm just voicing out a concern, just like any human being would, you know, like every other conglomerate that's out there is of a result of someone's home. It's a representative of someone's home. So someone has outsourced their wardrobe, different names, we know different brands in different stores. Someone has outsourced their kitchen, and it's in a mall structure, or it's in a complex structure, or just a few shops nearby. You know what I mean? If the dysfunction was within your wardrobe at home, you had to go out and you could actually wear it from the store. I think that's the whole idea. You could actually wear it from the store and life would go on. So but now if there's dysfunctionality both sides, what's the reason? What's the cause? Like, it's dysfunction meets dysfunction in the city. I mean, the city is busy. There's a certain nature to the city, hence why the whole concept that came about, and it was brilliant. Now imagine in the city, you're getting such vibes. You go here, these challenges here, you go there where it was supposed to be solution, you know. So these are the kind of things we're having, the challenges we're currently having. So what's the way forward? If someone could come up with such ideas at such a difficult period once upon a time, what are we thinking now? Where other people, I mean, the entrepreneurs will see the opportunities, or it's either, like I said, the end of something, of an era. I don't know what's happening, but it's either that we go forward or we restart. So I'm wondering what's the angle here. So I know entrepreneurs might be excited, others might be worried. God be the solution. And it's in no way that I'm even trying to act smart. I mean, it's a given. We all see it. No one wants to talk about it, but people want solutions, but no one wants to step up and say, hey, we want solutions. I mean, COVID happened. It's like, we dealt with a lot. COVID happened. The scare, how traumatizing that phase or era was at that time. Like, seriously, we've been through a lot mentally, psychologically. I don't think a whole lot of us are coping. We've been depressed. We're out of depression. We are fine. We are this. It's just inconsistent. It's unpredictable. It's scary. It's all sorts of things. You know what I mean? I think people who can neutralize things are just, everything is in their favor right now. If people can neutralize things, they will build moolah right now, because that's the only solution going forward, really. Neutralizing, or restarting. So what's best? Like, for crying out loud, where is the functionality? I mean, the hustle and bustle of the city demands that you keep the pace, you keep the momentum going, you roll with the flow. So now this functionality ka molekwa, like, where does one find this, like functionality, you know and even if it's for different reasons, if let's say you are past that phase of a reason, then where do those kind of people go to find, to regain their sanity and their livelihood once more? So this it's just, I don't know, it's a lot, it's way too much. There's like a people paying that juice all that at the same time, chaotic mess. It's a mess. Hey, batho ba Modimo, o itse gore go senyegile kore kare ke a lora, nkare motho hela ka ntipela ke a tsoga wa bona. Like, for crying out loud, where is the functionality? I mean, the hustle and bustle of the city demands that you keep the pace, you keep the momentum going, you roll with the flow. So now this functionality ka molekwa, like, where does one find this, like functionality, you know and even if it's for different reasons, if let's say you are past that phase of a reason, then where do those kind of people go to find, to regain their sanity and their livelihood once more? So this is just, I don't know, it's a lot, it's way too much. There's like a people paying that juice all that at the same time, chaotic mess. It's a mess. Hey, batho ba Modimo, o itse gore go senyegile kore kare ke a lora, nkare motho hela ka ntipela ke a tsoga wa bona. Oh, there's this contagious effect to businesses, once it happens in one business. So, am I the good one to now be the one supplying all the goods and not fit in? Maybe that with businesses, that's obviously going to be the wave that's necessary to solve everything. If someone starts and make a demand for the goods, edible goods, once more, and bring back that functionality, people will soon catch on and also want to go back to proper functionality and whatnot. And I've noticed now, so as well, because it's a whole transportation of things before they get to the main store, that now people, it's like Bataba Hirang is like, those up in your face, like, you're not gonna be telling me anything, even if I know and whatever I gave to you is not right. You're not gonna be telling me anything. It's like, we're having it hard, people. We're not gonna be explaining ourselves that it's difficult. So it is. You bought, so you know what? There's no refund. Others at that point, we need to make money. I know it's not functional, but we need to.